INFJ, the rarest personality type. They are the quiet observers, the intuitive healers, the walking contradictions who feel everything in a world that often feels nothing. They understand people, but they are not understood. You move through this world like a ghost carrying a lantern, illuminating everyone else's darkness while quietly stumbling through your own. You feel the pulse beneath the silence, the story behind the eyes, the truth people are too terrified to say out loud. You hear the emotional frequencies most people don't even know exist. And damn, INFJ, you carry all of that while looking calm, collected, unbothered on the outside. This video, this script, this journey isn't just a description of an INFJ, it's a confession, a mirror. A late-night truth-telling session between warriors who've been fighting invisible battles their whole lives, for those who've always felt different, for those who sense what others miss, for those who carry a deep, silent chaos behind calm eyes. This is your story. Maybe you've spent years feeling like you're too sensitive, or too intense, or too emotional, or too quiet, or too weird, or too complicated. Maybe you've tried to tone yourself down. Shrink your intuition, silence your emotional radar, pretend you don't know what you know, but you do know. You always know, and that is both your gift and your curse. Because when you feel the world on a different frequency, when your intuition hits like a spiritual download, when your mind works in metaphors and meaning instead of facts and small talk, you end up living in a world that was simply not built for someone like you. But here's the truth no one says out loud. You were built for this world. You're just not built for its bullshit. You're not here to play small or hide your depth. You're here to see, truly see, the things others look away from. To feel deeply, painfully, beautifully the emotional currents beneath human existence. To heal with your presence, your insight, your intuition, your quiet strength. So before we dive into the 5 sections of this journey, let me speak directly to you. INFJ friend. Yes, you. The overthinker, the empath, the dreamer. The old soul wrapped in human skin. I want to hear your story. What part of this resonates? What truth have you been holding inside your ribs like a secret? Drop it in the comments. I read every single word, and I respond because your depth deserves to be witnessed. Now breathe, settle in. This is your landscape, your frequency, your soul language. Let's step into the first doorway. 1. Exploring the mind that feels the world on a different frequency. You feel the world differently, like your soul has its own private radio station broadcasting on a frequency the rest of humanity can't quite tune into. While others see actions, you see intentions. While others see anger, you see fear. While others hear words, you hear wounds. Your mind is not a mind, it's an antenna, picking up on emotional static, decoding energy shifts, translating human behavior like a spiritual linguist. You don't just walk into a room, you read it. You feel the tension in the walls, the unspoken resentment at the table, the hidden heartbreak in someone's forced smile. Your mind pulls in data no one consciously reveals, no one verbally expresses, no one admits even to themselves. And because you feel everything, you often say nothing. It's easier that way, isn't it? Because how the hell do you explain to someone that you know they're hurting because their laugh sounded half a tone too soft? Or that you sensed their anxiety before they even recognized it? Or that their energy shifted when the conversation changed topics and you instantly knew why? Your mind is a map of things people think they've hidden. Your intuition is the compass always pointing to the truth. But damn, it gets heavy, doesn't it? To feel what others don't feel. To know what others don't want to know. To understand what others can't articulate, and yet you wouldn't trade it. Because this frequency, this depth, this knowing, it's part of your soul architecture. So let me ask you this, INFJ friend, what is something you sensed long before anyone else admitted it? What's a truth you carried quietly because no one was ready to hear it? Tell me in the comments, I want to know. 2. The beautiful contradiction of craving connection and needing isolation. You crave connection like oxygen, but too much of it suffocates you. You want closeness, but you need space. You want intimacy, but you need solitude. You want to be known, but only by the right soul. This paradox defines your relationships, doesn't it? When you meet someone who feels genuine, someone whose energy doesn't exhaust you, you open like a soft, brave miracle. You give them depth, vulnerability, emotional truth, spiritual resonance. You connect with people in a way that leaves them wondering how they ever lived without being seen like that. But then you withdraw, not because you don't care, not because you're losing interest, not because something went wrong. You pull away because you feel too much, too fast, because people overwhelm your senses without even realizing it. Because connection sparks intensity, and intensity demands space. You are the ocean, vast, deep, magnetic. And yet you must retreat to restore your tide. Your alone time isn't optional, it's survival. It's how you detox from the world's chaos. It's how you refill your emotional reservoir. It's how you return to yourself after stretching too far into others. But the irony, isolation hurts too. Because you long deeply for someone who can handle your storms without drowning. So tell me, INFJ friend, do you ever feel guilty for needing space from the very people you love? Let me hear your truth. 3. Why the silence of an INFJ speaks louder than any words. Your silence is not empty. It's a language, a precise, intentional, powerful language that most people will never be fluent in. People misunderstand it constantly. They think silence means disinterest, or withdrawal, or confusion. But your silence is usually saying one of 5 things. 1. I'm observing. 2. I already understand. 3. I don't want to waste words. 4. I'm protecting my energy. 5. I'm carrying something too heavy to speak. Your silence is your sanctuary, your reset button, your emotional shield, your truth filter. You don't talk to fill space, you talk to reveal your soul. And if the space isn't emotionally safe, silence becomes your armor. But let's be brutally honest for a moment. Your silence is also where your pain hides. The disappointment you don't express, the heartbreak you never verbalize, the exhaustion you bury under a calm tone and polite smile, the loneliness you pretend you've gotten used to. Your silence has weight, shape, texture, history, and INFJ silence. It's never hollow, it's full of everything you can't say out loud. The people who truly understand you, the rare ones who can read energy instead of words, they hear your silence like a second heartbeat. They read between the pauses. They feel the shift in your presence. They sense the storm behind your calm. Because INFJ silence is a message, a warning, a confession, a story, a wound, a prayer, and part of that silence, if we're telling the raw truth, comes from the voice inside your own head. That inner critic that never shuts the hell up, even when the world finally goes quiet. You know, the voice that tells you you're too sensitive, too intense, too emotional, too quiet, too much, not enough. The voice that keeps you silent when you should speak. The voice that keeps you small when you should rise. The voice that drags you back into isolation when your soul is begging to be seen. And if that part of the silence feels familiar, INFJ friend, there's something I want to share with you. I wrote a book entirely for people like you, for the quiet warriors, for the deep feelers, for the ones whose inner world is louder than the outside one. It's called Get Out of Your Head, and it dives into exactly this, the inner critic, how it grips you, why it forms, and how to finally silence that internal voice that keeps dimming your light. It's available on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and audiobook if you feel called to explore it. The link is in the description below. Get your copy now. Because no matter how wise, intuitive, or self-aware you are, you shouldn't have to fight your battles alone, especially the ones happening inside your own mind. So tell me, INFJ friend, what does your silence usually mean? What truth lives inside it that no one ever notices? Drop it in the comments, I'm listening. And I'll respond because your silence deserves a voice. 4. A glimpse into the labyrinth of a mind that senses everything. Your mind is a labyrinth, a sacred maze built from intuition, memories, symbols, pain, imagination, and psychic-level perception. People think they know you because you understand them deeply. But they have no idea how impossible it is to fully understand you. They see the gentle smile, the calm demeanor, the softness in your voice. But they don't see the complexity behind your eyes. Your mind is always moving, always analyzing, always connecting dots most people don't even see as dots. You think in layers, surface, emotional, symbolic, spiritual. You think in patterns, behavioral, energetic, historical. You think in stories, past, present, future, all woven together. And honestly, sometimes your mind scares you a little, because you don't just sense what's happening. You sense what's coming. Your intuition is a warning system, a compass, a prophecy, and living with that kind of inner knowing can feel isolating as hell, but it's also your gift, your power, your spiritual technology. So let me ask you, what part of your mind do you wish others understood? What's the thing feel or perceive that you've never said out loud? Share it, you're not alone here. 5. The spiritual love and lasting heartbreak of the infj heart. When an infj loves, it is spiritual, mythic, soul-binding. You don't love people, you love essences, souls, frequencies, connections that feel predestined, sacred, ancient. You feel love like déjà vu, you sense a bond before a word is spoken. You attach emotionally, spiritually, telepathically. And because your love is deep, your heartbreak is devastating. An FJ heartbreak doesn't fade, it lingers like a ghost. It becomes a room in your chest where memories live forever. You don't lose a person, you lose an entire universe you built around them. You lose the future you envisioned. You lose the spiritual tie they never understood. Your heart is a healer. But who heals you? Your heart is a giver, but who gives back? Your heart is a lighthouse, but who becomes your guiding light? So let me ask you softly, what love changed you? What heartbreak shaped you? What soul connection are you still carrying inside you? Tell me in the comments. I read every story, so here we are, INFJ friend. Back at the beginning, back at the paradox. Back at the rarest mind in the world. You, the quiet observer. You, the intuitive healer. You, the walking contradiction who feels everything in a world that often feels nothing. You, the soul who understands people but is rarely understood in return. This journey was about you, your mind, your depth, your silence, your intuition, your heartbreak, your spiritual nature. But let me tell you something the world rarely says directly to an INFJ. You are not too much. You are not too intense. You are not too sensitive. You are not too deep. You are not invisible. You are not replaceable. You are not alone. Your depth is needed. Your perception is needed. Your compassion is needed. Your truth is needed. Your heart is needed. And even if the world doesn't always know how to receive you, there's a place for minds like yours. There is a purpose for souls like yours. There is a path only you can walk. So let me leave you with a question, not a knife, not a wound, but a whisper. What part of your INFJ soul are you finally ready to stop hiding? Tell me, I want to hear it. I will reply. Your story matters more than you know. And if this journey felt like home, if it felt like someone finally spoke your language, subscribe, stay close, and keep walking with me. There are more stories to tell. More truths to uncover, more shadows to explore, more light to remember. My INFJ friend, this is only the beginning.